Hello, and welcome back. You're listening to Let's Drone Out, live on a Thursday, every Thursday, because Christmas wasn't punishing enough. And tonight, you are joined by everyone's favourite extremely beardy McBeard. That's you, Frank.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Good evening.
And the other, almost as beardy, but has got... Have you still got the gap with the scar?
No, the scar's covered up now, but I've still got
fair enough.
Still patchy on the side. Getting there.
That's my darling wife.
Bonjour, husband.
And filling in for Belric or Stephen until he gets here, the legend himself, Mr. Painless 360.
Hey everybody, good evening.
I've never seen your room so dark.
Well, the thing is, I have now perfected, because I do lots of live streams to Patreons. I don't do it on the channel stuff, but I've now figured out that unless I have this whole light set up, because of course, you know, you guys know all this stuff, but for those listening, I literally have a whole array of lights. Anyone walking by the canal around the back of the house will wonder what the hell is like an alien abduction, because I'm sure from the outside of the house there's these lights shining out because I've got the curtains open. But whereas in the past, you know, I had that one little wimpy light and it would look like I was, you know, calling in from Anonymous. I just needed the mask. Now you can actually see me, which is probably not a good thing, but it does mean I'm surrounded by lights. So yeah, I feel very much like a superstar, but at least you can see me. But the downside is, you can't see anything behind me. It's all secret stuff, which is probably actually
secret
not a bad
squirrel stuff.
Yeah, all the stuff that's coming in January that we're currently working on. Some of which you and I were talking about today, young man.
Lurgy, is it okay to share the photo that you sent me, my friend? I just out of thing. We've got a lovely brand new listener with us who's just had their first Christmas. Here we have. We've got Lurgy with little Tony.
Look.
And he's wearing this little LDO shirt. Does look horrified. I would be too. Subjecting them to torture already.
Poor thing.
But so does that mean you're now officially Uncle Tony?
I think so.
Me? I don't know if I'm Uncle Tony. I don't know. I am an Uncle Tony.
Uncle Tony. Auntie Tony, more like.
Shut up.
You're my wife.
Only in your sick dreams, Jack.
Yep. Was Santa good to you guys? I got given a little glider from my friend Tom. Thank you, Tom. A friend who I've met from eBay.
eBay friend.
eBay friend.
So I will be destroying that and making it a piece of
Are
useless...
you going to do what everyone does with these gliders?
What, put servos and a motor on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's Stephen.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Are you?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm going to, level the bed for the 3D printer and stick a motor on it, and got some servos I can dig out. I just don't know what to do regards ailerons, whether I should bother, just keep it a 3-channel, or do I dare, because a lot of people cut the wings and flatten them out to get the dihedral out of them. And
Has anyone here done it? No.
The only person I know who's modified one of them is Dan Upton, and he made it so the wings were attached by a servo, so the whole wing would
but he's
be an aileron.
Or you could make it like the Air Hogs, whatever it was, and just have 2 motors. Forget all the servos. Just have 2 motors and just do it by differential thrust.
Yeah, that would be easier.
Well, send your links to into the Discord. What Jack should do with it, or try to do with it, I should say. But
I reckon just go to the top of the I-360 and just lob it out the window.
And then chase it with a whoop.
Yes.
Painless. Do you play a lot of the Sims? Do you fly a lot in Sims?
I don't know. It's not something I get a chance to do. I'm usually doing stuff in the field, and some of it's flying. But no, I don't. One of my friends is looking to become a commercial pilot, and went and spoke to another one of my mates who's a commercial pilot already, and he was saying about how good the Sims are now, and it should be something he's doing. And I have watched a few videos on YouTube, and the new things like the Microsoft Flight Sim is absolutely phenomenal compared to what I remember from back in the noughties. It was terrible. Why, yes, bud?
I just wondered because I had a few house FPV boards spare, and I wondered if you wanted one, and that allows you to like Stephen was the person who kind of led me on to this, you can add a Crossfire or ELRS receiver and plug it in, and then use it with a sim. And I just wondered,
okay,
I've got a spare board and a Logic thing. All you'd need is a Pico and your receiver, and I could send you one.
The good parts there, Painless, is if you've got a bunch of different radios, and when you plug them in as USB, they all appear as different controllers, and you have to map them all up. But if you have ELRS on a bunch of different radios, you can keep this little adapter plugged in and then just swap to whatever radio you want at the time, and the channel mapping stays the same, assuming you've got all your radios set up the same. So you don't need to constantly be saying this is a new controller and setting it up from scratch again.
That's very cool. Yeah,
I'll send it to you anyway.
Yeah, I'll have a play with that, bud. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries. You'll have to get a Pico. Would you like to take your leave, seeing as miraculously everyone has appeared?
Yeah, I will. The only thing I'll say is for the Christmas, I was very lucky. The two things that I got that I was really wanted. One was a Lego Haunted Mansion, because, you know, I'm a big Haunted Mansion fan. Love Lego, so tick, box, both.
Saw the other thing I got, on your Instagram.
Very, very pleased with that. The other thing is that, you know, when you're doing that thing when you're trying to film on your desk and you have your camera on a tripod, so you're trying to film something with your arms around the tripod, and you're desperately trying to make it look good, like soldering demos, trying to do that is bloody impossible. So my wife got me for Christmas one of those kind of articulated arms, so the camera can actually be mounted above, exactly like that, above and look down. So I can do what I'm doing and not worry about the fact that I'm having to reach around the camera. Might sound like a really small little thing, but oh my God, I actually used it for the first time yesterday, and it was so nice. I could actually lean in, because I'm an old guy right now, so I need glasses for close-up stuff. So I could get close in and actually see what I was doing, because before you had to do it by looking at the screen at the back of the camera. It's like, you know, Chinese whispers trying to plug stuff in. So now it's great.
Sense of smell.
That's a great idea. Because I've got two cameras here, and I was thinking I'd mount one of them overhead, but I just had no idea where to start for mounting it.
I will put the link in the private chat for you, Stephen, because this one is mega. I was looking for them about 3-4 years ago, and they were all massive professional rigs that were like big Meccano sets that bolted over. And I was like, I don't want that. I just want like an arm that I can slide into place, and it's fab.
So is it like a mic arm, like I've got there, just to kind of articulated?
Yeah, but the joints are on little thumb screws, so you undo them, it clicks into position, then you kind of tighten them up. But the nice thing is there's a rotating one halfway down. Sorry for all those people who are listening who don't record videos. This is boring as crap. I apologize. But for those of us that do, there's a little kind of there's a little piece where it's still, even when it's all locked, you can push it out the way, so you can kind of pull it in for when you're recording, and then when you're finished you can push the camera out the way without losing all of the positioning. So it's epic. I'll send you the link. It's awesome. So for me, it kind of RC related ish, but that's my big one for today, for this Christmas. It was great. Thank you to Mrs. Painless.
Thanks,
well
Mrs.
done,
Painless.
Yeah. And thank you for your Christmas card.
Oh my God, it actually arrived, did it? Because so many people as I've sent still haven't.
No, I got it. I got it just before Christmas. I've sent you one, but you will probably get it in January.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Easter
Or
probably.
February.
Yeah, I'm still
But
waiting
yeah.
for
For next
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah,
My only tip to you, Lee, is don't use that camera in wide because it will turn to something as Ben Heck says, puke cam. So, yeah. I don't know why. It's just a thing.
Which camera in wide?
Your overhead.
Overhead.
Oh, okay.
I don't
I
know
guess
why.
because you see all the warped perspective, like if it's really wide, and it all looks very
parallaxing, isn't
curved and
it? Is that
weird.
what it's called?
Parallaxing is something else, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Frank
You
knows.
get lens distortion, and it's really obvious if you're looking at stuff on a bench rather than people's faces, because your bench has like things that are supposed to be in a straight line and not bananas.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you've got
Yeah.
like a nice gridded pattern on your desk, and it's just
Well, we all have one of those
kind of
mats, don't we? Because
circular
that's
cover.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I
We all
know.
have. Why do we all have those mats? That's a great question. Why have we
It's the
all
one design of cutting mat available.
I don't.
Yeah.
Can I have one
Yeah.
for next Christmas, please?
Right, that's okay. Tony sorted out for next Christmas. All
Yeah.
the demos I used to watch back in the very early
Got a
day,
spare
like
one, yeah?
2005. There you go. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey.
That's it. I've got one
So,
that's got
I don't-
inches on one side and centimeters on the other, and that can be
I
confusing.
nicked my
if you put
wife's
it
and I
up
had to buy her a spare after I melted holes in it with a soldering iron. So
That's the way to do it.
Painless, would you like
We've
a
all done
mini mat?
No, thank you. I'm good. I have mats of various sizes, and the one that
Yeah.
I'm still using is the one that I started with, which looks like the one that Stephen was talking about. It is knackered, but it
Got
has
holes in
now
it.
has sentiment. Yeah, it's got holes burnt in it. It's stained from that. What's that magic stuff that you kind of roll up and it goes like a putty? It's like, and it sets like rubber.
Subaru?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Black shoe glue is a nightmare. It just stains everything. So I've got all these black marks all over it. There's
and the
bits
sachets
of,
expire as well. Like you spend tons getting some bargain like massive pack of Sugru, and then it goes off in the sachet.
I didn't know
No.
this.
Yeah.
No,
What?
That
it's
sucks.
absolutely right.
Yeah, it's got a
I
shelf life.
needed some the other day. I was putting a cable in an air unit, and I didn't have that little rubber grommet thing that goes in the front. And I thought, it's okay. I've got some black shoe glue, whatever it's called. So I went to get it, and it was basically this solid little square inside the packet.
Oh no.
Hmm.
I use it for keeping my keychains on because my car remote is so old it snapped at the end, so I fashioned a ring of it around. To keep
It's
the
perfect for
keys
stuff like
together.
that. Putting stuff on bike handlebars and all that as well.
Yeah.
Caroline's saying that sugar has a short shelf life. Yeah, I wish I'd have known that, because when I bought it, I kept the sachets all in a careful place, thinking that'll come in handy for. Because the thing is, you only need about a quarter of the one that's in a packet anyway,
Yeah.
whatever you need, and the rest of it goes in the bin. Or I used to make it back in the old days. If you remember this, I used to make it into little rubber feet to go at the bottom of quads
Yeah.
that I could stick
Oh
on.
my word! Yeah.
Just
That's
to
what
use
pushed
it
me
up.
to 3D printing, because I thought that stuff was going to be the answer. Like I wouldn't need to mess around with CAD. I could just get it and jam it on stuff. But you can't. It costs a lot to buy a single sachet, so you buy a load of them and then they just go off. So yeah, 3D printing ended up being more cost effective.
Doesn't the Warhammer guys have the weird blue and fluorescent yellow stuff that you mix together? But does that go hard?
Yeah, there's the milliput stuff that kind of goes hard, or
It's more like
there's
an epoxy, isn't it?
it's like
What's-
Plastimold, I think, that you like pour boiling water on it, and then it goes kind of soft and
Oh,
squidgy, and then
yeah.
you can push it into
What's
things.
the
and then-
name for that stuff? It's got a name.
I mean, yeah, I like what I've got stuck
The
on is
flight test
Plastimold,
guys
and I don't
loved
think
it.
that's what it is. But it's some kind of
Thermomold,
portmanteau
isn't it?
of maybe
You need a mold for that stuff, though, don't you? You can't just-
polymorph. Caroline's got it.
Polymorph. Oh,
Well
yes.
done, Caroline.
Like
That's it.
Red
Not to be
Dwarf.
confused with the alien from Red
Yeah.
Dwarf.
The one that was the curry monster. That one.
yeah,
Yes. That sucked all your different curry should be
Vindaloo
here.
monster
Yeah, sucked all the different emotions out of you.
turns you into Dwayne Dibley.
Or Ace Rimmer.
AKA
Yeah.
Brad's ex-girlfriend. but we won't go there.
Okay. Pardon me.
Oh wow, that's left field. Okay, moving on.
Talking of curries, I might order one
No.
tomorrow.
I can't find that yellow stuff. Yellow and green stuff. I'll try and find it online. All right, Lee, I will leave you to it, my friend. And
All right, guys, I'll dive out. Just season's greetings,
Cheers.
everybody. Best wishes
Yeah.
for 2023.
And you.
Yep.
Cheers, mate.
Happy
New
23, mate.
Year.
Yeah, happy New Year. Have a great show, guys.
Take care.
No worries. Thank
Thanks.
you so much
Bye, mate.
for everything. Bye.
Oh, painless. Thanks for that.
I know. What a legend.
What a geezer.
Very Christmassy as well, like you, Frank.
Yep. Well, you won't get me putting my Christmas jumpers away just yet.
What did you call that stuff? That green and yellow stuff?
Milliput.
Polymorph is what they wrote in the chat. Oh, milliput, yeah. That's not really flexible, though, is it? That's more like clay.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Missing out, Tony.
I
1001
like
different
the
types of
shoe
epoxy.
glue, but now it's probably in my gone off and gone hard in my cupboard somewhere.
Yep.
Ooh.
Damn it! I didn't know that.
Someone needs to find out if it'll keep in the freezer or something. There must be a way to keep it that the shops do. Surely they don't just throw it all away.
Yeah, there's probably a secret out there somewhere. Keep it in the fridge, like when we used to keep maggots in the fridge as boys when we used to go fishing.
Oh.
My mum hated it. Bless
I
her.
can imagine.
But I bet she was kind of relieved for when you finally did turn vegan.
Yeah, she's like,
No
no
more
maggots,
maggots
no
in
more.
the fridge.
By then, I was out and moved. By then,
What do you use for fishing bait? Is there vegan fishing bait? Or do you just not
Bread.
fish?
The
because
act
bad?
of fishing isn't very vegan.
Yeah.
Well, if you
is it?
throw them back, it's okay. It's just trauma.
Yeah.
It's not murder.
How's
Yeah, well-
being vegan and working at the slaughterhouse, Tone? No,
Oh, yeah,
job's
it's
a job.
It's the job, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just hit nut loaves on the head all day. It's fine.
I know.
Caroline's asking if Curry Kitten has damaged himself skiing yet.
I haven't heard
don't
anything.
think so.
I
think
think
he's
he's
like
just-
really ill.
Yeah, I think he's just unwell,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
there's loads of people.
Which
been
often
ill.
happens, unfortunately, when you go to resorts like that and you're jammed in with 50 other people.
Or just seeing family over Christmas.
Hmm.
I got home after Christmas Day and woke up at about 4 a.m, going, I can't breathe. Loads of
Oh, dear.
Vicks, stuff loads of Vicks up my nose and pray to the gods. But yeah, I seem like I'm all right. So
I thought
Did
he'd
you
be
get
back
any
this
nice,
week ripping it out of us for his chicken curry parody last week.
I did see that last week. Did I get any RC stuff for Christmas? No.
Yep.
I'm too old for stuff like that now. I just get money, but I'm not old enough to get just socks yet. That's to come.
A few years yet.
So I'm still happy with the money, but I'm not buying RC stuff with it. I'm actually buying a new saddle for my bike. So,
Oh.
Speaking of socks, someone has tried to send me some customized socks. Apparently, you can get one-off printed socks, which makes me think back to what we were threatening years ago.
Printed?
The custom LDO sock,
Oh, yeah.
available singly or in pairs.
Jack has a couple.
I was going to say, I think Jack's already got some.
Yeah,
They've got to be flexible if we want to sell them.
yeah. Frank did do it. They didn't fit though.
Turns
And
out.
I don't know. Yeah, because I've got really, really big feet.
Oh, I wonder why, Yeti.
I
For
know.
Tony, they're a sleeping bag, but there you go.
Yeah. So for some reason, Tony wouldn't wear them after I wore them.
I wonder.
I got courtesy of sort of via fossil stuff. I've got a Mud's LED controller,
Oh,
and I also got from the editor, who's also my brother, a big reel of LEDs.
oh
So
nice.
I was going
Oh.
to try and get those going for this evening, but it turns out after turning everything upside down, I can't find my solder. So I've got
What's Mud LED? Do tell us.
it's I think it's an ESP32. Just it's a sort of carrier board for the ESP32 that drives a load of LEDs, and there's some firmware that goes along with it that sort of just means that you can program in a load of fancy flashing patterns over, it does a little Wi-Fi web page to set up the patterns. So
Cool.
Fossil's made some his kind of demo video is of the what's the big X class
Thor?
the
Or his
Thor,
new one?
yeah, the Thor covered in LEDs with sort of
Oh, wow.
LED things bouncing around all over it. Or I think Matt Stubbs has made a big wing with a load of LEDs, all the patterns just kind of go all the way around it. So I'll find something to do with them at some point.
I
Nice.
was very interested in why you were looking for your solder. Do you want me to
Yeah.
send you some? You totally screwed without it.
I mean, I'm sure there's a box somewhere that I've forgotten about, and it will all be in there. I can find
I
the
heard-
flux, but I can't find the solder.
I heard racers are really going in for LEDs in a big way now. Apparently, there's some sort of mandate that racers have to cover themselves in specific colors in some racing league in the US now, which has led people to go from 32 up to 64 LEDs. Apparently 32 wasn't enough for a load of racers. They want to be able to do 64 LEDs on the quad, and that's
How
a feature now.
off-putting. I watched
It's a lot.
I watched whatever racing it is called. I don't even know what it's called anymore. The one indoors.
CL?
Huh? DCL, yeah, DO, one of them. And they had all their LEDs, but one's some flash, which like just constant, just so you can't see it, and then you can see it, and then you can't see it, and then you can see it. Because they fly
Like
not
cyclists
yeah, it's
in dark
Right.
clothes.
yeah.
But how
pretty
many
much.
LEDs on your board, Jack? Is that 5 or 6 on there?
5.
Yeah, so you'd be able to run like 12 of Jack's boards on a single quad. Just imagine what would that look like.
Pretty.
So on each arm,
Pretty
there's like
cool
one
when you're
pointing
racing.
up, one pointing down, and one pointing like
just
forwards
nuts.
or something.
Yeah,
I know
just
what we could
both sides of
do.
the stack, front and back.
I've just had a great idea. Lights on a switch, facing backwards at your opponent, and you switch them on and blur them when you go around a
Yeah.
bend and they crash. Boom.
As soon as you get near a
Yes.
gate, you just go from black to just full on like
Yes, I'm doing it.
fairground.
Is it cheating? And switch now.
Like set up a persistence of vision display and just
Yeah.
make it a fake gate appear on slightly to the side.
Exactly. Or if you have enough
Yeah.
of them, you could make it look like your quad's moving the opposite direction. So you could start the light going and you move that way and then the lights go the other
do
way.
the fast turn and it still
Mate.
stays there.
Yeah.
We're on to something here. Right, let's get this ready for Wings and Wheels next year, please. I've been asked about if I'm going to that already by a couple of people, which I probably am. Anyone else going to go this year?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
You should. It's always a good event, that, and even if you're not flying, it's there's loads to do.
Yeah.
I saw some
No.
people flying 7 inches, so I might give that a shot. They
Yeah.
weren't officially on the chip, but I've got a nice 7-inch. I don't get much opportunity to thrash it, so be up for putting that.
That
just in
sounds
case.
like me. Sorry.
There's the whoop
Little
stuff as well. I've got a
5-inch
whole
thing.
bunch of whoops, but I just can't get round to whoop racing.
I
Maybe
can't
it's
do
a
it
chode.
either.
Maybe it's 7 wide, 5 tall. If you're lucky.
What an amazing bloke! I wonder what his knob's like.
I know.
Thanks,
Speaking
Tony.
of
Good to have you on the
which,
show again.
how was date night with Brucey?
Yeah, fun. Yeah, we
I-
drank too
I-
much.
I miss the merriments. I can only imagine you woke up in the same bed together.
Not quite, not quite, but it was fun. Expensive night because the beers are
£3 each, isn't they?
£9 each.
No, what?
30 quid for 5 beers.
Jeez, where were you?
At home.
They're
No,
charging themselves. It's the only way they can stop drinking.
Yeah, made a fiver out of it. No, it's just
His own vending
expensive.
machine.
The expensive craft beers. They're just that's how much they are, and you just you know, you can have a 8% for £8 or go and buy 10 bottles of wee. I call
Life's
it
too short
beer.
to drink Carling.
Yes, exactly. And Carlsberg and all them. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we had fun, and I went out after half a day and went mountain biking to clear my system out. But poor Coco, she's on my bed at the moment. She's nipped her blooming dew claw again and ripped that out. So that stopped us from. I think we only done about 4 miles, and then Hayley had to cycle back, who I was with, bless her. And
4 miles is still pretty impressive for a dog with legs that short. Like,
well, she does 15, and on a normal day she'd do 10.
Her legs are only about this long.
I know, she goes like the clappers though, but
yeah.
So now, we're gonna have probably a week off now.
You should put a
That
step
dog
counter on her sometime. See what the step count is.
It would be mental. It would it would be mental. But yeah, so no flying for me. I haven't done anything like that. I've only been using my little DJI drone for work, really. Bit of work, using it for work, and that's it. No other
You
flying.
don't fancy giving my mum's guttering a good tea too, do you?
No comment.
I did it last week by the sound of it then.
Well, I've
Brucey's
still got to do
last
Frank's. I've still got to get over to Frank's and sort his
that
guttering out.
downpipe, yeah, like oh my word.
Yeah, I feel like I might have to get into that downpipe somehow.
We've got a shot of your home that looks homely, Frank. It looks like we've seen painted walls. It's not
I know.
a burned out wreck. It looks very nice.
Don't turn the camera around.
Yeah, the camera is staying where it is at the moment. But there's definitely been a lot of improvement since I last spoke, I guess.
So what level are you?
Like
You've got
cool.
kind of like level 1, you had a toilet. Level 2, you had like a fridge.
Oh, it's got heating now as well. So
got heating, got lighting.
Does it work?
Got blinds. It's
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to hear it, man.
Yeah, it's progressing. But I'm not quite at the point where I've dug out all my FPV stuff. That's still hidden away. Hence me struggling to find some solder. But it'll come. It'll come eventually.
Yeah, I think it's going to either be someone wanting me to do something, paid work, or it's just going to be spring before I go out again. I think.
Yeah. It was pretty warm today, but it was very windy.
Yes, it's been windy.
Stephen, have you made it up to Race Castle? You were talking about that a while ago.
No, I've been lousy. Yeah.
It looks good what Gem's done, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've got to go up there. I've got a whole load of whoops. I was wanting to build a little 35mm one as well, just for giggles, because I've had these 35mm frames. I've got a whole thing of whoops, and I just don't fly them very much. I think I'd be terrible once I get there, but I do want to have a look around. I finally built the 5-inch, one of them that I was threatening to. I'd be terrible once I get there.
Sorry.
Oh, I might. Yeah, so I rebuilt one of my 5 inches, and I want to have actually made in this. I've got to take that out, and then I've got another 5-inch. I was going to finally build a FETEC one, and that's been sitting there, kind of glaring at me for ages. It's just there's a lot of stuff to get round to do. But yeah, so far so good. I've been tracking a lot of the HD OSD stuff for Betaflight 4.4 and been spending a lot of time reading about that and relaying information and drawing some diagrams doing documentation and other fascinating things just to try and grease the wheels a little bit.
I don't know
So
what
yeah,
I'm
not a
going
ton
to
of
do
flying, unfortunately.
when I have to start flying again. I'm going to everything's going to be out of date. Mind you, you can still fly it all right. It's just not going to be.
As long as it works, don't update anything.
No, I'm
I
not
was
going to
thinking about
update
digging
anything.
out a really old quad just for a giggle, because I know I've got some proper just crapware down there hidden
Ones
in
that you haven't
boxes.
updated for at least a month.
No, way longer. So I've got an Eachine Lizard 105S, which was a very basic kind of. It had vertical arms, and it was weird. It was an old Eachine bind and fly with like 2.4-inch props and 1104 motors, and it had a 720p DVR that made everything look turquoise, and it was just quite basic and very included lots of anodized purple aluminium metal parts. It was just a really weird frame. The vertical arms, purple metal all over it, and it rattled and wobbled a lot. And I thought I might get that out for a bit of a giggle and see what it's like to fly again.
We should do something on that, like an old fly thing.
Yeah, because Jack got me loaned me the wobble copter, the museum copter. I've got to try and fly some more. I'm kind of stuck a little bit because it's an XT60 and all my XT60 packs are 6S, and it will be on fire if I do that. I'm reliably informed.
It will just explode.
Yeah, so
and you'll be picking bits of silicone out your face and beard.
Won't be fun. So I need to get an adapter. I probably should desold, because if we want to give it to Cole, I've got to leave the XT60 on it. I have to dig out an adapter and put some little 4S. I think I might have a 900 4S, which would probably be okay for those quite tame motors. But yeah, give that a bit more of a thrashing.
Well, the thing is, it weighs a load from all the hardware in it, like 4 bolts per arm. It's got more anchorage than the arm can even take, because the arm's only like 2 mil bloody carbon.
The arms are weird looking. They're very, that's the first thing that got me. I was looking like in profile, why are the arms just so, they're very wide, but they're so thin, it's unbelievable. So all the carbon is so thin.
That's what it was like back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'd have thought, like, intuitively, you'd be like, it's going through the air like this. You want it to be thicker this way than this way, because that's the aerodynamic profile of the quad.
But
a bit odd.
What it was your ESCs were that wide, so they made.
Yeah, that's right, Jack. That is absolutely right. It was the size of the ESCs back then. Until little B's come along, our ESCs used to like sit on the arms, and because there was no 4-in-1s back then, was there?
Curious.
Yeah, there were, but they would just explode randomly.
Yeah, they weren't. If they weren't very good. Yeah, that's exactly why it was like that, because they were so wide.
I got a new cheapo AIO that was 40 quid from a company who I shan't promote because they're a bit pants, but F7 AIO with a 40 amp ESC in a 25mm board. And then you look at that stack, it's just like, wow, it's got the FC and then 4 ESCs, and then there's the OSD off to the side.
And
you
it's
just look
smaller.
at like the amount of kit on there, the amount of silicon versus like a single all-in-one that's got 40 amp ESCs, and that's 20 amp. It's mind-blowing.
What's Carolyn said there? I can't see because there's a big stupid heart in the way on my mobile phone. Oh yeah, I love how you can get them.
Read it to the audio listeners.
No,
I love how you can get a replica Aliens Marine for your shooting fin. Snow Wolf Aliens M41A pulse rifle. Shooting fin? What's a shooting fin, Tone?
Fun,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ask the dyslexic people; they can auto-correct nonsense.
I don't know what a shooting fin is.
I remember Tony was texting me, and Frank looked over and was like, what's he saying? And then I had to translate the dyslexic, and I was like, I see nothing wrong here.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as my dad. If my old man texts me, like write something, and I just go, oh yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, as long as the beginning and end are all right, and we just kind of
Just stumble on. Keep
Yeah.
going.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Some of the texts Tony sent me are horrendous. They're like, I understand
Can
this.
you imagine my online dating profile then?
Oh, yeah, I know.
And when I text people, that's why you just see them. Oh, after one day they've disappeared.
I
Yeah.
definitely like when I get
It's
a
that.
text from Tony, I will definitely stare at it for a while. Eventually, I'll get it. Like there have been a few times where I have had to ask for clarification because I'm just like, no, I don't know what that means.
It's a mix between spelling, can't be asked with full stops or any punctuation, and dyslexia and trying to do stuff fast and like cut it down.
It's challenging.
Are you okay? And all that schmalarkey. Yeah, so I do apologise. But
Now
Gets
that
there in the end by the sound of it.
he does get there.
live captions on Windows works quite well now. So when Tony sends me like a voice message, I'll just play it with there.
What's wrong with my voice messages?
Well, I can't play them out loud in the office.
Oh, well, I do swear quite a lot without even realising.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh,
to be fair, you're quite right there. Sorry.
Also
The
for
first
Christmas,
secret-
along with that Mud LED board, Fossils sent a freebie along with it of a frame.
holy crap!
What is it? FSGX 210.
Oh, look at that old school thing.
Is that plastic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
plastic fantastic. That's what we called it.
Interesting.
I mean, I'd have definitely gone for the gravity, just for the sort of OG
Old
cred,
schoolness,
but
it. Yeah.
I don't know what to do with the FSGX. I haven't worked out what I want to do with it. So, any suggestions?
Top-mounted battery. That's all I'll say.
Oh, we mounted it on the bottom.
It's got the XT60 on the bottom.
No.
Hello, Canada. Blizzard
No.
FPV.
But do you
Hello,
remember
Blizzard.
when he was selling them across the country? Like couldn't cut them as quick as he was selling them. Well, across the world. He's
Yeah.
going Canada and everywhere. Oh look, I just said Canada, and it's in the chat.
Yeah, so
Hi
I
from
get that
Canada.
one, that it's polycarbonate that Caroline's saying. Because, yeah, I've seen some of these and it does look like a really neat idea, but why is no one else doing polycarbonate? Is it just an absolute hassle to work with?
It's not polycarbonate.
It's milk. Paul.
Milk.
It's milk cartons, basically.
HDPE, yeah.
Right, okay. That's slightly bendier, isn't it?
They were tough though.
Yeah.
High density poly something? Ethylene?
Ethylene, yeah.
Mm. It's not the frame that bends, it's your sexuality.
All right, someone
Tony.
needs to kick Tailspin out of the chat. Give him a strike.
No.
What's a Ragga E for the win? What's a Ragga E?
No comment.
Raggy. It was basically, I'll tell you the truth, this is usually saved for the bonus chat, but it was a gobshite who worked for Fossil, and then during his off time, he was cutting his own frames
done,
and
Richard Warwick.
basically ripped them off, and then got into bed with Drew and was selling them through Rotor Riot. And that is the story of Raggy.
That's it.
Wow.
So, yeah. And hang on, just for the legal.
Has anyone heard anything about Rotor Riot recently?
Is not only my own, but it's fact. And any other views expressed in the show are personal and may reflect the views of the others, except Tony agrees with me. Because
the last thing we heard, like Rotor Riot went from being owned by the main Red Cat holding company to being moved to a separate holding company away from Teal and everything without the big name.
I haven't
What's
watched a
happening to
Rotor
Riot?
I haven't watched anything
Yeah, I haven't
for
either. I
about
don't
a
think
year
they've
and a
done
half.
anything in a very long time. Flight Test is still kicking out the occasional thing. Rotor Riot basically stopped.
Who muted Tailspin? That's not fair.
I asked someone to do it in the chat, and Richard Warwick done it. Thank you. It's only
Oh.
300 seconds. It'll learn him.
It's nice that they've got a bit of money and they can have fun. It's kind of, it looks like a flying club that has got a bit of money, Rotor Riot. Yeah. I'm not sure they're really creating anything, but they're having a bit of fun.
Well, I used to listen
like
to our
what's going
podcast, and then a week later there was what we talked about on their show.
Boom, boom.
Great minds.
Yeah, exactly.
The Steve Jobs quote, you mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Genius steals, nice people give attribution, something like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
maybe. Who knows? It's hard to
Tailspin
say.
can't get back into chat. What's 300 seconds? It's not
Oh,
that
geez, who's banned Tailspin?
I know.
All right.
Tailspin.
Trigger happy
Tailspin's the first
moderation.
one in the chat as well today. He
I
was
know.
like literally waiting, and we just
At least reduce it to like 10 seconds.
Oh my word!
It's just got rid of.
Outrage!
he'll be back.
I know, poor Tailspin.
Well, at least we're talking
Richard
about him.
Warwick. That's who done it, Tailspin.
Sony made me do it.
Hopefully. He's like outraged. I know, poor guy suffers this show each and every week.
If he does live in a nice hot country, it's probably still hot now, or at least warm. So, he can fly every day. We can't. Is he back yet?
Oh,
I'm starting to feel bad now.
so look at
I
all
know.
the,
You should. You should.
the videos Caroline posted. And praise for Jack's rear lights there. And more little stuff. I don't know what these gliders were. I thought they were little gliders when I bought them, but they're not. I've got to get round
No,
to this
you've
plane.
actually got to go to Lidl to get them.
I think I've built like 5 quads since I bought this plane now. I've got to build the bloody plane. It's sitting there in the same place it was when I showed it on camera when it first arrived.
Yeah, how is your receiver woes? Because that's what you got stuck on last time.
I didn't get stuck as much as have a hissy fit, and the hissy fit has just kind of caused a mental block. I think I really want to just put a flight controller in there so I don't have to worry about. Because right now my radio has no trims. None of my radios have trims. All the trims are mapped as momentary switches. So I'd have to re-enable the trims on one or more radios, change to a completely different flight mode and all that stuff. And I'm not sure I can be asked. So I'll probably just put a flight controller in there and fly it with an FC. And then I could just keep it untrimmed and I'll just do the trimming on the FC as God intended. Something. It can go fly itself like a happy little plane. And I can sit there on the ground and go, oh, look, I've made it go in a circle with INAV or something. I'll stand there with my sandals on and I'll watch it go in a circle. I'll be like, mission accomplished.
How big is the glider, Jack? Can you get it out? That's what she said.
Is it really? It's just the way I'm sitting.
It's just the way my trousers rock up.
Yeah.
So what's Jack's glider? What did you buy, man? I heard you talking about the glider when I dropped into the show.
No. My friend Tom gave it to me.
It's a Christmas present.
It's pretty chunky. It's a lot of foam.
Not too bad. It comes with a more substantial manual than most RC products. Look at that.
Yeah, you only get 2 pages with each sheet, and half of that is how to bind an XM Plus that they haven't included with it.
Hello, Bobby Bear.
I think it's all the regulations that you got to be aware of before you throw it.
All right.
Shawnee Bean. Hello.
That looks
Has
about
it
right,
been
Jack.
300
I think you've nailed
seconds yet? Is Tailspin?
Maybe you should read the instructions, you idiot.
Very square wings.
You can't
Not
tell
nice,
which is the leading edge. Let's just sort of chew it, see which tastes like.
No,
fun.
that is clearly the leading edge. Tailspin.
300 seconds.
Hang on,
Is,
right,
is 5
hang on.
minutes.
Tailspin. Hang on. Add as a moderator, and then hang on. Remove
don't,
moderator.
it get rid of me.
Tailspin. Get Clive. Get your own back.
Don't
I'll
enc-
read
no,
It's Richard
okay, this is
Warwick.
I'll re-
Jack.
oh,
This
was
is
it
the
Richard?
internet. Do
Oh,
not
shit.
encourage people flaming
Hang on.
each other.
No, it's just for fun. I'll re-add them.
Oh my
Was
word.
it Richard Warwick? Hang on.
Yeah.
Well, it's been nice being on the show.
Remove
It's our
moderator.
last episode where Jack encouraged our long-term
Add
fans to
moderator.
flame each
Sorry,
other.
Clive. I didn't do war on my...
Well, they've
Oh,
changed
man.
the wing design on that.
For audio
Who's-
listeners who
who's
might think
loving-
that there's some balloon animal creation going on,
Yeah.
Jack
He's
is
loving the
wrestling a
audio
glider.
right now. Did he? Has he has he blocked?
No, Richard's
I'm
still
not.
chat.
I'm not going to put that in there. Let's measure it, Tone. Let's just measure it. Oh,
I like the new wing. They were that's totally different to that last couple of years ago.
is it?
Yeah, they were round.
Yeah, I thought I got one when I picked up one of these little scruffy boys. And mine is
850.
much tinier. This is a 400. Little wing.
Ooh. See, that's
Get a lot
the
of
one
foam for your
I.
money.
Oh, that's a very smaller one. Much
Yeah, it's
different
stinky.
wings.
Oh yeah, it's completely different profile.
Yeah.
Completely and utterly different.
How big is it, Jack? How long was it? Did you say?
850 mil.
Okay.
Or if you are a
Or about a third of a league.
yeah
3 chains
or
and a furlong.
Yeah, 3 chain.
33 and a half inches.
1 turnip, 1 1/3 turnip tosses.
The new
Or
version
palms.
is. Oh, I can't read because of the stupid heart. Someone's gonna have to put it on the
What?
thing. There you go. The new version is a bit better than the old. The little one sold is known as the XL version. Wow. So is
What
it
do-
got? Has it got any flaps traced into that at all, or
No
nothing?
flaps.
No, nothing visible.
No,
Mine
no
didn't have flaps traced
flappage.
in, but the surfaces were very small. They traced in like about maybe
High
an
hazard
inch worth
FPV.
of control surface, which didn't look like enough. Although I'm obviously not in the know.
Frank,
Yes.
when's your weird
Wait for it.
The thing. that we
Wait
can't
for
talk
it.
about.
3D printer gonna get up and running?
Oh, my belt printer.
Yeah.
I need a
or
new
are you
belt.
just gonna sell it?
No, I'll get
The
it up and
endless
running,
printer.
and I'll probably what I'll do, because it's what I usually do with 3D printers, is I'll get it working and get it tuned, and then never touch it again.
People are
Is it-
saying you've got to put a carbon spar along the length of the body, Jack.
Have I?
Apparently, that's what people will do when they're doing the little gliders.
The length of the body. Is the body really that flexible?
I'm not sure. You'll have to give it a.
I don't know. It depends
Oh,
if you
yeah.
want to land it like
For the
I'll
benefit of
say
audio
yes.
listeners, Jack is flexing
Bending
it so
his-
you can almost sort of getting almost 180 degrees out of that.
Jack's trying to get something else out of it now for our audio listeners.
Someone take a picture.
Flipping it about all over the
thumbnail.
place.
That's a thumbnail and a half. That one.
There we
Or
are.
You could just be like Tony and.
Yeah, get a sight mounted on top. Sorted.
Yep.
Will you
So
get
what
a
are you going to
ferret
do once you
tattoo?
put this together, man? What's it going to be? Is it going to be a super complex plane, or is it just going to be MVP? Get it in the air.
I don't know. I haven't got that.
What do you need? Are you going to use wheels and take off from the ground? Are you just going to launch it? What do you want to do?
It's made of foam. There's no need.
you
If it's foam,
differential
it
thrust
doesn't
or
need
not?
wheels. No. Jack stroking his cockpit. That's one way of looking at it.
So Caroline Tyler is saying she's slightly overmoted hers in that she was outpacing an EDF jet last time she flew.
What?
Well done.
Why?
Oh,
What are you
All right.
talking about?
Can we see if you got any evidence of this so we can play it on the?
Get some DVR, Caroline. We want to see you ripping past the EDF.
Let's put something in the chat so we can play it.
Do it.
Have a look.
I'm trying to get the weird sort of double molded hatch off it. Because
I don't
that's
know
where
if
I'm
it comes
get a
off,
getting.
is it?
knife dug into mine. It's like they've heat fused the cockpit on.
I know.
It did
I
go,
can't.
but if I had to apply so much force, it was like I thought it was just going to tear the thing in half, and eventually it went.
Don't ruin it already.
Well, no. I mean, it's part of the process.
I've gone from
Use
Jack stroking
alcohol.
his cockpit to Jack torturing his cockpit now.
Don't waste it.
I'm not. I'm very grateful for this. Thank you, Tom. You lovely, lovely man.
So trying to dissolve the seam between the black cockpit foam and the blue fuselage foam in the hope.
Oh,
that
did something.
Oh, did a thing.
That I tell you what, man.
That was a squeak of victory.
Shady knows a thing or two
Oh, mate.
about adjusting your cockpit.
Apparently it's just hot glued on.
Steam it. I don't think steam's going to be the answer with foam.
Melt it off. Super glue.
No, acetone. Don't want to pick up the wrong bottle. Really,
It's a pile of goo on your
different to this
workbench.
bottle.
You tell me you've named
For the
them,
love
at
of God, we
least.
need to buy Jack a Dymo
There's
printer.
nothing.
At the
Is there
very
no-
least.
Do you sniff it first or what?
Oh, he's ripped
I
the
just
cockpit
know.
off.
I wondered why it weighed a ton, and what I can only describe as an M12 bolt is in it.
Is
Yeah,
that a
What the
little
hell?
bolt? That's from their leftover
there
washing.
you are.
That is some
You'll be able to
nose
fit the
work.
electrics in there with, probably match
Oh,
the
it's no good. It's Imperial. Where the hell do you get an 8.8?
8.8. Wow.
Look at the
That's some
thread on it,
special
man.
American.
That's more
obsolete
coarse
stuff.
than my sense of humour. Oh my word!
There's a glider in the chat.
Shady with the
What's an
just
American bolt doing in a German supermarket's glider? The conspiracy
I don't
thickens.
know. It might be Whitworth for all we know. Thumbs up to anyone who got that old school reference.
Yeah, not me.
Frank does. Frank's had a good old yank on a Whitworth now and again, isn't you?
Oh yeah, that was like one of our best-selling features of industrial 3D printing. Was making Imperial stuff that it was cheaper for us to print it than it was to get it shipped over from the US.
What?
That's funny.
That is crazy.
Well, not to mention the time. I remember the last time I got something shipped from the US, I waited 3 weeks for it to travel the colossal distance from Manhattan to New Jersey. At 4 miles as the crow flies.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how much the editor hates me for all the balloon animal noises.
It's not that. I can hear a little bit, but
It's just providing ambiance.
That's one way of looking at it. 8.8 is the grade of hardening. I'm sorry. The new one has an actual designated lump of metal.
Designed.
Oh, designed.
see, I read that as exactly how you said
Designated.
that.
Yeah, I know. Designed.
Providing vital translation services, guys.
Yeah. Don't use words with more than 3 syllables, or me and Tony will struggle.
Aye.
I know. I don't know what to do with my new pet bolt now. I might get
Don't
some
name
of the
it
old
and-
googly eyes off you, mate.
Yeah, I know what you'll do. You start drawing on it, taking it around with you, taking photos.
Yeah, get a
cuddling
little
it.
lead for it.
Yeah, I know what you're like.
Make a little beard for it. Yeah.
Right, time that guy out again.
Oh,
Oh,
let's
no.
play Dementia. Oh no, Frank's found the button.
Boom, boom.
Oh dear.
So,
is true.
2023 closing rapidly, guys. What do we
is.
think's gonna be around the corner?
DJI will make another goggle and it won't be compatible with nothing, so you have to spend another 10 grand. They bring out 20 more drones, and that's my prediction.
Classification comes in and the extension runs out, and then we will all be arrested and hunted.
Yeah, that too.
Did anyone
Like the
apply
Hunger
the
Games.
secret decoder ring to the Geeks Finer video about classifications? It sounds like we went from having a plan with Europe to then saying we're out of Europe and we're out of plans, and like the plan is we don't have a plan.
That sounds like it.
That's the Great British way. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Not having a plan is a plan.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Way
going
of
on with the
life, I'll
rig.
give it that.
Because, I mean, every time I hear something, I'm like, oh, maybe now it'll make sense again. And just every time, it's just another completely separate document that's unrelated from everything else.
Yeah,
That has a
it's just a
completely new
contradiction.
arrangement of everything and doesn't make anything any clearer. And so, yeah, still ignore everything. Just don't be a dick. That's the only way I can see to play it, because there's just too many documents that.
Wait for the government to change and maybe we'll get it together. Who knows? The current bunch don't seem to be providing any guidance.
I don't on anything.
Hang on, no. Yeah, that one. Oh,
I didn't see that. What's this new one? Safety notice. Do not
Numbskull's
be
been applying makeup apparently.
Do not be on fire. Be careful around busy roads. Don't take our advice.
I assume he's gone rogue, but we've once again got a little misspelling. I've gone rouge regarding drone laws. Maybe either a state of embarrassment or some fetching makeup that Numbskull's applied there.
Yeah.
What are we watching? Is this Caroline's little glider?
This is beating the pants off an EDF.
Hey,
That
looks-
is
that is
open it
cool.
What
You got a-
size
open it up.
motor is that? Like for a
That's
start.
cool, man. She's done that. It was flying
Caroline
well,
does
wasn't
loads
it?
of cool stuff. She should be on here more than we are. She's like
Yeah.
way more qualified. Like, Caroline, do you want to buy Let's
Do you want a
Drone
job?
Out? As long as
That's
you
cool.
take this bolt, it's yours.
Right, if yours flies like that, Jack, I'm going to be
It's
impressed.
not gonna
If-
fly
if-
like
I
that,
know it
Vic.
won't, because
Even if it did fly like that,
yeah,
if Jack was
he
flying
can't
it, it wouldn't fly
it.
like that for very
No.
long.
Yeah,
No.
to be fair. So yeah, that's it's not going to ever look as good as that, is it?
Something that's might be coming up soon. Jack kindly gave me his old quad. I think I should set Jack a challenge with some modern quad bits to try some modern quad bits. So I've got a couple of bits and pieces I might send you, Jack, to
not modern
reverse the
stuff that
challenge.
actually works. Where's the
Stuff
fun
that
in
actually
that?
works. Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you mean it's up to date and I've got to update it every 10 minutes? Why?
They don't have to update
Can you
it.
explain
But
to me
I'll flash it and send it to you, and then you just
why
just have
is
to
there a
build it.
new why is there a new version of
Anything ever.
SLRS
Wasn't
when
1995
we
good enough?
only just had the old one?
Can't we just fly on a Motorola 68,000?
Yes.
What Jack likes to do is find some hardware that has been unsupported for so long that he has to get everyone to go through their old backups to find the bit of firmware that you need to actually flash onto it to get it to
You
work.
have to visit an antique dealer and look behind a set of Windsor chairs to find it.
I'm
No,
gonna
my favourite thing to do
need
is
that.
run over the flight controller with my chair, and then.
Look at that. That was perfect.
Nice flying.
I
Caroline.
know.
That's
Nice.
good.
Caroline.
There's another one.
Why-
Twin motor little plane. 28,000 kV.
Yeah, so Jack, I just thought I'd maybe send you something that's a little bit more up to date because you seem to like using the flight controllers as doormats. I thought maybe use another one just in case. And
yeah, how else would
yeah.
I not make my life easy?
I saw you complain about VTXs and you not being able to attach an old VTX to the 20mm mount. So I've got a modern VTX I thought I'd send your way as well. And I know you don't like people flying DJI around you, so I thought I'd maybe send you something that can punch louder than DJI in a 20mm factor as well. So you've got like a 1.3 watt VTX just to blow the DJI pilots out the sky.
No,
I don't like 20mm. That's as far as I can count.
But
It's not...
that was the size of the VTX mount on your frame, wasn't it? That you were trying to fit stuff to.
No, it's 30 by 30, but because I'm
Oh, is it?
a
Oh, sorry.
dinosaur.
Okay.
That's fine. It has got a 20 by 20 at the back, so you can put stuff.
Well, this one's flying just as well, if not better.
Yeah, shiny. Nice job.
Has it any ailerons though?
I think this one's just the twin
Just the
motor
twin.
one.
Yeah.
So I think this one has no servos, possibly.
Just 3-channel.
Yeah.
2 channel. Even.
What are you
No
going to do then,
servos.
Jack? I mean, yours is. If you can fly it for more than, let's set you a challenge. Right, I'm going to set you a challenge. You've got to keep it up. That's what she said, for 5 minutes. All right, that's my challenge to you. It's got to fly for at least 5 minutes.
In a straight line.
We can go in a straight line if you want to run after it, but I can't see that happening. We could drive after it or something. 5-minute challenge. It's got to stay in the air for that long. You could just like
ailerons, elevator,
up,
2-motor differential. That's that one.
Yeah, so no need for a rudder.
Whoa.
It has
Picks up, doesn't it?
Mm.
It's got potential for a rudder. I don't know how I feel about it. Tone.
Okay. Well,
If you wanted it to be a sort of very relaxed glider, then just having elevator and rudder would do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, Frank,
lovely.
arouse you. Hazard says I have a few red bottoms and a Naze 32 if you need spare parts.
But do you have any motors?
Yeah, that's what we want. Red bottoms.
that went straight over his head, Stephen.
Never mind.
You got any motors? Yeah, I know. Bank and yank.
I mean, if there's a guy who's ever got a red bottom, it'd be fucking Jack.
Yeah, true. Yep, send them in, Hazard. I think Stephen needs to compile a Naze 32 and get on it.
I compiled the firmware. I added in the BL Heli pass-through that was taken out, and I took out something else that we definitely didn't need. I think it was barometer support, and because there's no room on there with like Betaflight 3.2, they took out the Naze, the 4-in-1 ESC flashing, and put it in barometer support. So yeah, I've built the firmware for it. It's just it flies. It's kind of an effort. It's got this weird OSD, and I can't configure the OSD unless I somehow connect a serial port to the OSD, which I can't do because the only serial port is being used by the USB port, which is also connected to the same
That's
serial
what
port
one
as
of
the
these
OSD.
is for.
It's just like brain melt.
Have you not got an FTDI adapter?
Yeah, I've got an FTDI adapter, Jack.
Yep, you just plug it in.
It.
That's why it's got pins on
Plug it in where? Plug it in where? I can't even see a pin out on the top of this thing.
Yeah, no, there is no pin out. So show it to me. Like, Yeah,
I mean, I could find a diagram, but I wasn't even sure what the board was called, which caused me issues trying to find a pin out.
Hang on. Let me.
If you send me a product page for it, I'm sure I can find the diagram, plug it into an FTDI, which I've got in the drawer over there.
Oh, it's a
I
history
just
lesson.
couldn't believe I had to unplug the OSD to configure it because just why? So my gut reaction when I was given this was, right, that's got to go in the bin then. We need at least an F3 on here because it's only got 2 serial ports. I can't configure the OSD unless I unsocket the OSD.
You'll like it.
Try it and you'll like it. Yeah.
Oh, flight. You'll fly it. Right, here you go. This is oscarlang.com. And the good thing is about this website is not only is it up to date, but it's got really old shit in there as well. And that is what you want. You plug it at the top there.
Okay.
So you'll notice that the two on the side, all the pins face downwards, and then you want to plug it in this top one here.
Okie dokie.
So look for the 2 pins on the side, and you want to do the top, and that goes straight into your FTDI adapter. And if it doesn't light up, turn it round the other way, and then plug it in.
Well, the trouble also is because this OSD is a bit weird. It doesn't respond the same way as the normal Betaflight stick commands. It was all a bit like different to the stick commands that I've seen on everything else. So it has some like PID tuning stuff, and it has a menu, but it doesn't seem to enter the menu using the same stick commands as I've seen before.
Yeah, don't follow this bit. I've got the new one. I'll give you a key for it.
I've got one that they've released free.
There you go. Look, to access the built-in OSD menu, disarm the quadrotor first, throttle middle, your right, pitch full. That's normal, isn't it? That's the same. That's for the top.
I've entered it before and it didn't feel the same way as every other analog quad I've got.
Mate, that thing doesn't feel like anything from this century.
Yeah. I think it is the worst experience of Betaflight 3.2 because I had 3.2 on an F3 and it was relatively easy to set up. That was like the first firmware I tried ever. Betaflight 3.2. Yeah. Anyway,
I'll send you.
We'll give it a shot.
I'll give you the key. I'll give you the key for downloading the OSD. Right, that I think is all we got time for. Frank,
hello.
Are you going to do anything RC related next year?
Probably, eventually, at some point. Once I have somewhere to put my bed that isn't also the place where the dining table is, which is also where everything else is, then yeah.
Can you think of anywhere we could all meet up, buy a load of fireworks and strap them to shit and fly?
Yes.
It's nowhere near you.
Oxford Circus, maybe?
Don't know. It's just an idea.
Just have to be
have
safe.
a think about that.
That sounds like fun. I'll definitely come out and fly if we can strap.
Follow our dicks
to
off. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. You've been listening to Let's Drone Out. It's live every Thursday at 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. UK time. It's currently GMT 0 or UTC +0, I believe. Frank probably will correct me. You've been joined by my darling wife, Tony.
Bonjour.
The Christmas jumper maniac, Frank.
Hi.
And the man with the moustache, Belric.
Cheers. Bye, everyone.
And this show has been supported by our patrons that keeps us impartial and free from the slave collar that is the YouTube shills. You will not find us trying to sell you keeps, a VPN. Not that Tony can spell VPN anyway. Hair loss
And we will not be
products.
acquired by a holding company.
Yep. Yep. And yep, the best and happy new year. I've been Brighton till I fly.
Happy
You guys rule.
2023.
Yeah. See you.
Yep.
See you next year, guys.
You're awesome. Bye, everyone.
And hopefully we can have more fun and mess around in the new year. Thank you guys. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy 2023.